But distinguish a little bit deeper. Some of you know, some people cast aspersions on the Christian activity versus the Muslim. Kind of differentiate the Muslim
Jihad
versus what we would have in the Christian response.
Once again, it's pretty easy to do. Muslim jihad is a religious obligation for Muslims to extend the area that Muslim law is observed, the Dar al-Islam in Islamic terms. It doesn't have to be done by violence, but it certainly can be and very often is. So jihad is something that is aggressive and expansionistic. The Christian idea of crusading is exactly the opposite. It's defensive. Crusades were never ever supposed to conquer land that had never been Christian. It is designed to protect Christians who are either under attack or under the kind of dimitude, the kind of servitude that you're talking about, Scott. It's a completely different kind of thing. It's a defensive, reactive kind of activity that is, as we've been talking about, designed as an act of love to protect those who need to be protected. So kind of really the exact opposite. The two are very often equated as being the same kind of thing, but they're night and day, really.
Yeah, and I think that's the crucial thing, is that when the Crusades are brought up, it's like, oh, well, they all were in it equally, and they both have blood on their hands. But
That's
it's a very, very different historical case, and that's what you're both making in your writing and your teaching are really showing that. Stay with us on Franciscan University Presents as we go into some of the myths behind the Crusades. Stay with us.
When I teach my classes on the medieval world and the history of Islam, and I talk about the Crusades, I make sure to mention to my students the positive fruits of the Crusades, one of which is the expansion of Europe, economically in particular. There was a huge economic upswing in the High Middle Ages, and there was also this evangelical awakening in the High Middle Ages with the interest in the Holy Land. There was more interest in reading and living the gospel, living the apostolic lifestyle. And many more people were much more interested in the imitation of Christ and living life in the imitation of Christ. So you see new religious orders founded and even lay apostolic movements founded in the High Middle Ages.
I'm Dan McNally. I'm a theology major here at Franciscan University. I love studying theology. It's my passion, but I mean, I love learning too. You walk out of the classrooms, you want to know more. You don't want the lecture to end. So, I mean, that's the really great thing about being a part of a student body, is you can continue to discuss outside. It's not just studying to make a grade. It's learning to, you know, improve yourself, and not just through your own personal prayer or your own personal study, but through community, because that's what we're made for. Franciscan University is academically excellent and passionately Catholic.